Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Monday, November 22nd, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in this video, I'll be going over a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate, and then talking about my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight's slate as well. But without further ado, we'll get into yesterday's picks, take a look at how they turned out. So I did have my core, obviously, in the video yesterday. Mitchell Robinson did not end up playing. I said to pivot to Nerlens Noel. I said that Corey Joseph, once he was announced starting, was also in play too. So if you guys played him, that was fine as well. So I personally did not play yesterday, so I added up all these totals by hand. So if they're off just slightly, that might be why. We're going to start off on the DraftKings side. We got Lonzo Ball, $6,800, looking for 34 points on him. He got to 28.5, so he's a miss. You know, he played the minutes. He just didn't quite get there yesterday. And on a shorter slate like it was, you're trying to take a little bit of chances with some of these values overall. Then at the shooting guard position, at Fred VanVleet, $7,900, looking for 39, 40 points out of him. He got to 37. He was a miss. I call that a just miss. 6 for 18 shooting from the field and 3 for 12 from 3. So if he just knocks down a couple extra shots, he would have got there yesterday. Heck, if he just knocked down one extra shot, he would have got there yesterday. Either way, it's a mess, but not that terrible of a mess overall yesterday. Then I had Mikal Bridges, $4,800, looking for 24 points on him. He got to exactly 24 points, so he was a hit. Jeremy Grant, $6,700, looking for about 33, 34 points on him. He got to 49.5, so he's a massive, massive hit yesterday. That Lakers game did remain pretty competitive, and he was great yesterday. So if you had Jeremy Grant, like I said, if the game stays close, he's going to be a guy that you want in your lineup. So turns out that I was right in that regard, at least. Then at the center position, went from Mitchell Robinson to Nerlens Noel since he was starting in place of Mitchell Robinson. I believe he was $3,700 yesterday. Looking for about 18, 19 points on him. He got to 20.75, so he was a hit. So about 3 out of 5 on the DraftKings side. The Fred VanVleet one probably didn't hurt you too bad overall. Lonzo Ball might have hurt just a little bit, but if you had a couple other pieces along with them, you still were probably cashing yesterday. Then on the FanDuel side, we got Lonzo Ball once again, $6,800. Once again, looking for 34 points on him. He got to 26.7 on the FanDuel side, so he was a mess over there as well. Will Barton, $6,500, looking for 32, 33 points out of him. Got to 21. He was a miss. Only played 28 minutes, 4 for 15 shooting from the field, so not very efficient in that regard. And that game ended up being a blowout as well. Then we have Mikal Bridges once again, $5,100, looking for 25, 26 points out of him. He got to 24.2. It was a miss. I'm going to give that one a push just because it was so close and there was not a lot of value overall at that small forward position yesterday. Then moving down to Jeremy Grant once again, $7,300, looking for 36, 37 points out of him. Got to 47.3 on the FanDuel side, so once again a massive, massive hit right there. And then last but not least, at that center position, went with Julius Randle, $8,400, looking for 42 points out of him. Got to 45.5, so he was a hit as well. So for the most part, these smaller slates have been pretty difficult this year, but overall yesterday, not a bad day by any means if you had played the 5 players that I had listed on both sides. If you just had a couple other hits here and there, you probably were cashing yesterday. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries in play for tonight's slate. So it's going to be a 10-game slate tonight starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to start off with the Brooklyn Nets and the Cleveland Cavaliers. For the Nets, Bruce Brown, Nick Claxton, Joe Harris, and Kyrie Irving are all out once again. So I believe that was the same as last time. Bruce Brown may have played the last game. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but pretty similar to what we saw besides Kevin Durant returning to the lineup. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, we have Evan Mobley still out, and then Lamar Stevens and Cedi Osman are both doubtful to play. So it looks like they'll get Jared Allen back. Looks like Lauri Markkanen should be back today as well. For the Charlotte Hornets, P.J. Washington's questionable. He missed the last couple of games once again, so not many changes there overall. For the Wizards, Rui Hachimura and Thomas Bryant are still out, and then Davis Bertans is questionable to play. We'll see if he's back tonight or not. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, obviously this big one right here is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, listed as questionable today. We'll see if he ends up playing or not. If he doesn't play, this game's probably going to end up in a blowout, and maybe there's some value otherwise on this Thunder team. Maybe Josh Giddey looks just a little bit better, doing a little bit more ball handling and facilitating. For the Atlanta Hawks, they are without Hunter and Okongwu once again, and then Bogdanovich is questionable once again. Seems like he's been questionable a lot of games so far this season, but he's played in most of them, so I'm not too concerned about him. For the Houston Rockets, John Wall is obviously out once again, and then Kevin Porter Jr., questionable to play, missed the last 2 times out, so we'll see if he's back tonight or not. For the Celtics, Robert Williams is questionable to play, missed the last 2 games. And then Jaylen Brown is listed as probable to play. Thought maybe he'd come back the last couple of games, but just haven't got there yet. So hopefully he's back tonight. For the Timberwolves, Josh Okogie is questionable with his back injury. Naz Reid is probable at this point in time. We'll see if one or both of them end up playing. For the Pelicans, Zion Williamson, Didi Lozada are both out once again, and then Devontae Graham is questionable to play. He missed the last 2 games, I believe, now at this point in time. Then for the Pacers, just TJ Warren out tonight. For the Chicago Bulls, Patrick Williams, Nikolai Vucevic, both still out, so no major changes there. For the Orlando Magic, we got Etuan Moore, Jonathan Isaac, Markelle Fultz, all still out. Michael Carter-Williams doubtful at this point in time. Cole Anthony, who did miss the last game, is listed as questionable, and then Gary Harris is probable. For the Milwaukee Bucks, it looks like Dante DiVincenzo, Brook Lopez still both out, and then Semi Ojeleye is joining them tonight as well. For the Phoenix Suns, Dario Saric and Frank Kaminsky are both out, and then Abdul Nader is questionable. He did miss the last time out. For the Spurs, Zach Collins is out once again. Landale is a game-time decision, expected to play, but probably not in the rotation either way. For the Memphis Grizzlies, Sam Merrill and DeAndre Melton are both out in this game, and Dylan Brooks is doubtful. So probably looking at what we were looking at the last time for the Memphis Grizzlies overall. Utah Jazz are all the way healthy at this point in time. Then for the 76ers, just Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are both out. Danny Green's questionable. We'll see if he returns tonight or not. And then last but not least, the Sacramento Kings are all the way healthy at this point in time. So that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries for tonight's slate. Overall, tonight's slate doesn't have like a ton of value, but there are some injuries that are in play that could open up some value later on. So I'll definitely be updating the injury news and the starting lineups throughout the day. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Malcolm Brogdon, $7,300. Looking for 36, 37 points out of him. He's averaging over 40 on the season. Had one bad game the last time. That was a little bit of a blowout too. They just priced him down, and why not play a guy that should be like $8,000 for $7,300? He's probably going to get there today. I have him projected for 38 fantasy points. Then at shooting guard, we're going to go to Patty Mills once again, $4,500, looking for 22, 23 points out of him. You see his average is bumping up over time now, but we've seen him play very well recently. Got him projected for 25 points tonight. Then at small forward position, I got DeAndre Bembry. He's kind of been like that extra guy for the Nets, but probably in the starting lineup, probably playing enough minutes to matter. $3,100. You're only looking for 15, 16 points out of him. I got him projected for 17, 18 points on tonight's slate. Just a guy that's real cheap. You can plug into your lineup, save some money, and pay up elsewhere. Then at power forward, we got Harrison Barnes, $6,300, looking for 31 points out of him. Averaging almost 36 on the season. Yes, he came off to a very hot start. Been a little bit down last couple games, but I think there's definitely a chance for him to have a nice game against the Philadelphia 76ers. $6,300, that's a chance that I want to take. You're looking for about 32 points out of him. I got him projected for 34 points tonight. Then at the center position, we got Mason Plumlee, $4,500. He's going against the Washington Wizards tonight, who are going to have a big man out there on the court more times than not, whether it's Daniel Gafford or Montrezl Harrell. So maybe Mason Plumlee gets a couple extra minutes tonight because of that. Maybe the Charlotte Hornets don't play as much small ball tonight, so that definitely could benefit him. Got him projected for about 24, 25 points in this game tonight. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the DraftKings side, you have $24,300 remaining, $8,100 per player, so you can definitely pay up for a stud if that's something you want to do. Or you can kind of take a more balanced approach. That definitely could work out today as well. A lot of that's probably going to just depend on the injury news that we do get throughout the day. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So we got a familiar face at the point guard position. He's actually the same price on both sites, I believe, at $4,500 for Mr. Patty Mills. Looking for 22, 23 points out of him. I got him projected for 24 points on the FanDuel side tonight. At the shooting guard position, and apparently he's only shooting guard now on FanDuel, is Darius Garland. $6,200, looking for 31 points out of him. That's what he's averaging on the season. I got him projected for 35 points once again tonight. Darius Garland's a guy that I love playing when his price tag is right, and at this point in time, at least on the FanDuel side, his price tag is right. Then a small forward, a name that didn't work out too well for us the last time, but we're going right back to him with Josh Hart. $5,300, looking for 26, 27 points out of him. I got projected for about 28 points tonight. This definitely should be a game that they're not getting blown out in like the last time, so he should be in play and should be a value once again tonight. Then at power forward, we got Blake Griffin, $4,000, looking for 20 points out of him. Averaging about 18 on the season, but he's been playing a little bit better in recent games, getting a couple more minutes here and there too. If Kevin Durant's not all the way healthy, maybe that shoulder thing was real. Maybe it was just him getting an extra rest day. Taking a chance on Blake Griffin, you can definitely do a lot worse on tonight's slate. I got him projected for about 21, 22 points. Then last but not least, we're going to Mason Plumlee at the center position once again. Like I mentioned on the DraftKings side, the Wizards typically have a big man, like a traditional big man at least, on the court at all times, whether it's Daniel Gafford or Montrezl Harrell. So Mason Plumlee, if he can get up to like that 28-minute mark in tonight's game. Definitely going to be a value overall. I currently have him projected for about 25 FanDuel points tonight. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the FanDuel side, you have $35,000 remaining. Quite a bit of money. You can actually probably spend up for 2 studs on tonight's slate. You have just over $8,700 per player remaining. So definitely a lot of different options there. Or you could just go with a little bit more balanced build if that's something you were more keen to do as well. But definitely a great starting block with this core 5. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, November 22nd. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. I'll also be listing all the injury updates and starting lineups there as well, so definitely be sure to check that out throughout the day. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. And then with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I upload a new video. And like I've been saying, I upload daily NBA DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.